All right, we're back. Fresh off of another World Series victory. The Texas Red Bulls are too lit, man. We're just too good. I can't help it. So now it's time to review the season, see what we want to do for 2062. Again, let's kind of go position by position, see what's up. We got Phil Clark, who has really ascended as the premier catcher, and he plays elsewhere too, so he gets good volume of playing time. He did not disappoint with another banger season. He ended up with a 4-win campaign, a 133 WRC plus, thanks to a 22 homer 91 ribby. The 91 ribbies don't directly relate to WRC plus, but you know what I mean. 22 homers, 37 doubles, 3 triples. Doesn't strike out much, doesn't walk a ton, but doesn't matter when you don't strike out much and you hit for quality power. He's been great. He's not amazing behind the dish with just a 50 ability, but when he hits it this well, he's got a spot. And he's got a spot for a while, because even if we upgrade at catcher, it won't be at the cost of him, even though he's the lesser of the two defensively. Greg Olson there has a 66, but he has a weak arm, and this past season, the bat was better, but still not good. So Greg Olson might be on his way out. Billiam, welcome to the team. Just an absolute god. Dropped a 4-win season himself. 294, 364, 527. Led the league with 127 ribbies, 33 homers, 92 runs. Just a great season all around. Even fronting the league, a little advantage there by being so bad against lefties with just an 81 WRC plus. It didn't stop him because he was so good against right-handers. It just didn't matter. Marty Barrett, substitute role, not doing a whole lot. I think we need to kind of look to replace him and get maybe a better, more useful player in that utility spot there. Todd Walker just continues to be one of the team's best players. He was a 2061 All-Star again. He was a Platinum Stick winner at second base, obviously a 2-time champion. Just an unreal season. Basically just matched up everything he did last year. Just small tweaks here and there, but from 150 to 152 on the WRC plus, 13 homers, 30 steals after 16 and 29 the year before. Again, we're talking 0.1 difference in the WAR. Just another brilliant campaign. He's not going anywhere. Ed Sprague, he moved around during the season. Last year, he dominated lefties. So this year he came in starting against lefties and mixing in against righties. Well, Vizcaíno really didn't have much going for him. You can see here just a 75 WRC plus. I mean, he's not a brilliant hitter, but he can do all right. Like last year, he was good enough to where I had no problem playing him. So we thought that was going to be what happens. He starts against righties, mixes in against lefties. Sprague starts against lefties, mixes in against righties. By the end of the year, Sprague had first off flipped his platoon split to where he was average against righties and terrible against lefties. 214 BABIP doing a lot of work there. But basically Sprague was playing a lot against both sides, and Vizcaíno was only mixing in. And by the playoffs, I didn't even want Vizcaíno getting too much playing time, so he was just kind of here and there. Blauser, another quality year. He's a 5-win guy in season 1, which really surprised me. This year down to 3.5, call it 4 with the roundup. I'm still very happy with this, mind you. I love what he did in rookie. That is not the expectation for me, that he'll be a 142 WRC plus. Even 128 is above my expectation. I feel like if he can be in the 105 to 115 range of WRC plus while giving quality defense at shortstop, we'll take that. So obviously 128 is a big dub there. He was the Stone Level Series MVP, as we talked about during the playoffs, and a 2-time champion, of course. Vizcaíno, we already looked at him. And then the outfield. Now, the outfield, I'm gonna say something right away before we even get into potential upgrades. They're not coming from the outfield. I know that there's a lot of great outfielders out there that we could put onto this team that would make it even better, especially as we move up another level. But the Roberto Kelly, Kenny Lofton, Thomas Howard, Tim Raines quartet of outfield DH is not going anywhere. They all get another year guaranteed. Maybe we move up Raines based on his build a legend. But even that, I'm thinking let's ride it out another year, because look, Kelly was a 3-win player, so was Raines. Howard was a 4-win guy, and Lofton is the best player in the universe. And I mean that quite literally, because he won another MVP. And so in the universe that is this world, he's the best player. Look at that. Look at that red ink. That's unbelievable. One thing, do they not carry it over? Because he led the league and stuff last year, right? So they don't carry over the red ink, so you can see the league lead stuff over the course of their career. That'd be kind of cool. But either way, let's take a look real quick here. Almost 200 hits. Dang. Almost 20 triples, too. What if that 200th hit was this 20th triple? How perfect would that have been? 147 runs is actually down from the 160 the year before. But look at that. That's a triple crown right there. Average OBP slug. The real life triple crown is cool. Okay, it's neat. It's neat. Batting average, homers, ribbies. It's neat. But I think this one's more impressive. With a qualification, right? You can't just do this in 300 plate appearances and I'm going to go crazy calling it a triple crown. But you have to be qualified for the league leaders in these categories. But when you do this is something else. 345 average, 457 OBP, 556 slug. Just insane for a 10-12 OPS that led the league. 177 WRC plus 120 steals, 13 wins. This is insane. And I know I always throw it through the prism of fantasy, but I just cannot fathom how amazing these seasons would be in a fantasy situation. Like his real life stats were eye-poppingly excellent for fantasy purposes. I played fantasy in this era and he was awesome, but this is something beyond even what he was doing in real life here. In 94, in the strike shortened season, he had 12 homers, 60 steals. He went 14 and 75 here in 96. And that almost pales in comparison to what he's doing. Now, the homer output is similar, right? 13 and 12. It's this steal output. And obviously it's because I'm putting the green light on him, the uber green light, and just letting him go wild. And he is just maximizing. If Lofton had played in the 80s, I'm sure he'd have a 100 steal season. I'm just bringing 80s baseball with the 90s Lofton into the 2060s in this case, but into the 2020s, because we play under a 2021 world of baseball. So Kenny Lofton, just a god, not going anywhere, obviously. But seriously, I for as long as I do this team, he'll never leave. He'll never leave. I don't care if I take this out, way down the line and we get this team so good it's unreal, he would still be a bench bat. But I'm 99%, no, I'm 100% certain he starts on this team forever. We're not getting rid of Kenny Lofton. Thomas Howard, again, still earning his keep and then some. I know I was a little tough on him during the playoffs, but we still take the full season and we make our decisions based on that. And he even bettered himself from where he was the year before. Not a power guy, but 308 average, 363 OBP, 426 slug, 52 steals. He's a speedster, plays quality defense. He gives you everything you want. He's a switch hitter, doesn't really have a crazy platoon. He's better against righties, but he's not inept against lefties. Love this Thomas Howard card. And he gets another year at starting, and even as we move on, he'll hang on as our backup outfielder, even when he does get replaced. But for now, he continues to start in the field because he's better than Tim Raines defensively. Raines has a good arm and a decent error, but his 38 range makes it tough. Like I don't really want to start him over Howard. Now, I want to know how 23-year-old Tim Raines has a 38 range. I really need to know that, but I won't get too bogged down on that. 1983, I guess the range factor is what they're doing here, and you can see it's an outlier on the low end here, and that seems to be what bopped him, because the year before he was at 2.24. The following year, wait. No, that's at first base or second base. That's why. Hey, why can't this card play second base? Only 56 innings. You should at least be able to train him there. He should be able to be trained up to like a, I don't know, like a 40 second baseman or something. Anyway, I don't understand why his range is that bad, but he'll DH for us, and that's fine. I love Tim Raines, so he's not going anywhere. Pitching wise, actually, let's take a look at our team league leaders. Who was the league leader in doubles? It was Lofton. Triples as well for him. Although Todd Walker, Thomas Howard, they both hit double digits. Homers, it was Will Clark with 33. Ribbies, 27. He led the league, of course. Runs, it was Lofton, 147. Intentional walks, they didn't want that Clark smoke. Hit by pitch, it was Greg Olson getting blasted. 10 for Thomas Howard as well. Double plays, it was Olson. Handful of guys with 10. Steals, of course, Lofton, Dodoy. Caught stealing was not Lofton, though. That's how great he was. It was Raines, who still had a good percentage, though. I'm not upset with the 20 caughts when you have 84 steals. Strikeout rate, we got to go the other way. Barrett, if you don't count plate appearances, but Lofton if you qualify. And then walk rate, Lofton, regardless of what you do, and then Raines right there. And that's why they're, so high in the order. Well, Raines is actually down a little bit against righties, but against lefties, they're 1-2, and good luck to any left-hander at the top of the order there with those two. If they don't get a hit, which they do a lot, then they're going to take a walk, and you're in deep trouble because of their speed. Batting average is Lofton, OBP is Lofton, and slug is Lofton. He led the league in all of them. Of course, he was the team leader. I didn't need to do that. ISO was Will Clark, followed by Phil Clark, and then WRC plus, OPS plus, obviously all of those are going to be Lofton, who had the highest BABIP. Thomas Howard at 379, which is high, but when you have speed, you can carry yourself to a bigger BABIP. I wouldn't bet on a 379 again. It helped him kind of, stay great even as they went to a tougher league. If he had been at 341 again, his numbers would have been down a little bit closer to this previous season. But even if he's living, as long as he's over 300, over 320, I think with his BABIP, he should be fine. But obviously, if he's carrying higher than 350, Thomas Howard has a chance to be a high impact guy. Win probability added, Dodoy, look who it is, by just the sickest margin. An 11 win probability added to Will Clark's 3. Again, let's take a look. I think I did this last season, but let's give you an idea of what a real life WPA is. I'll go for this year's hitting leaders. And the leader in win probability added was Aaron Judge at 4.65. Shohei Ohtani at 5.18. I'm trying to see if that's just his pitching win probability added or his combined win probability added. So actually, you know what? It doesn't matter. You get the idea, okay? Let's go to, real quick, let me just go to 2019 and the last full season before this one. Yelich was at 7.3. 2018, 6.0 from Yelich, 5.9 from Bregman. You get it. You get what I'm talking about here. Let's go to 2001. Nothing crazy happened that year. And there you go. You get an idea. If you don't know, 2001 was when Barry Bonds hit 8 billion homers. He had an 11.63 win probability added, and that's the kind of season it takes to have something in the level of what Lofton did. And that's how God tier he is right now. All right, pitching time. Let's take a look at our starters in isolation here. We can put Nagy back in the rotation, of course. Do that. There you go. And we'll sort by innings. Steve, Cy Young winner. By the way, if it wasn't clear, I think I said it. Lofton did win MVP. Again, the least surprising thing ever. Steve, who did pitch in silver and gold with a different team, the person that we got this card from, and he did fine in silver, and he wasn't great in gold. Looked like he was mostly, hybrid role. 11 starts, 9 relief appearances. He was okay. But we're down here in stone, so he got a chance to dial it back up and go crazy. In 223 and 2/3 innings, he went 20-5 with a league-leading 2.09 ERA, a league-leading 1.09 WHIP, and a league-high 265 strikeouts. That's a pitcher triple crown, baby. And you know what that means. 4,000 points for Dave Stieb. Thank you very much. We had some big achievements. We had a 3,001 as well. Also courtesy of Stieb with 17 quality starts in a row. Just unreal. Just unreal. And then a 1054 score. Actually a lower score than we got in rookie, which is interesting to me. Well, we scored more runs, but we gave up more too, I guess. I don't know. I would have thought having a great record in the same record in a higher league might be worth a higher score, but I'm not crying. 2 titles, 2 110-52 seasons. I mean, can't be upset. 0.1 homers per 9 was obviously a league best. 10.5 WAR, just silly numbers, y'all. They're silly. That's the best I can say, because I'm at a loss for words. So I'm just gonna keep calling it silly. He allowed 3 freaking homers all year. That is nutso. That's truly insane. Like, I'm very happy with Alex Fernandez's 0.6 homer 9, and he allowed 15.5x what Fernandez allowed, or what Stieb allowed. Just crazy. He won a Cy Young last year, Fernandez did, and he bounced back with a 6-win season. He was neutral for win probability added, though, and a volume helped him get to 6 WAR because his numbers were good, but he was not the same guy that he was the year before. 210 in the 3rd innings, 394 ERA, 124 WHIP, and 209 strikeouts in that time. You see here, though, 301 FIP, and that's why his ERA is so high, because those core skills were still excellent. And, in this case, you can really see that there was some bad luck working against him a bit, because with these core skills, didn't have an exceedingly high home run rate. In fact, had a brilliant one. Didn't have an egregious BABIP. The fact that his ERA is near 4, it's just, what happened? It's just he kind of got bitten every once in a while. You know what it might be? Well, no, here, this one's that's in the playoffs anyway, but let's find some of his lesser starts. It's 5 2/3, 5 runs, another 5er in 5, 5 and 2/3, 5 and 6 in the 3rd, 8 runs here, and then 6 runs there. I was going to say maybe it's that my hook is too slow and he's getting beaten, going into the 6th, 7th, 8th innings. Doesn't look like that, though. Just looks like the games that are off can be really off, and so he gets smacked a little bit. But I don't know. I don't see anything that I'm not changing anything with it. Fernandez isn't going anywhere. Steve and Fernandez are going to be leading this division, or this rotation, for a while. Nagy, our 5th starter, comes in with the 3rd most innings. He had a solid season, solid enough as a 5th starter. I'm not upset about it. He was under a 5 ERA, 4.96. We're not doing, we're not having a parade about it, but I'm not upset. At the 5th starter role, the expectations just aren't that high. Like, you don't have to be that great. So just kind of plugging away. He was a 4.17 FIP, so he had solid skills. He just kind of got the lower end of the range of outcomes of what these skills will generate. And so that's what it is. I'm not too worried about it. Interesting here, 11 unearned runs. Could have been worse. Dustin Hermanson, 187 innings, 4.38 ERA, 1.43 WHIP. And then Hitchcock in 184 in the 3rd, 4.39 ERA, 1.32 WHIP. So you see our 3 guys here, they were like fine, but not amazing with their results. But their underlying numbers, thus their FIPs, were strong because those skills were there, saying they might have deserved better. I wonder if maybe, did they have a ballpark struggle? Because we do have a ballpark that plays friendly to hitting. Hermanson didn't love it at home. Hitchcock and Nagy, they were probably better on at home than the road. Hitchcock, 4.52. Nagy definitely worse on the road. So yeah, I don't think it was the park then. I don't know. I think just range of outcomes. Like, there's not really much else to say. Maybe the defense needs to tighten up. Where did we rank defensively? Team. Oh wait, it's literally right here. The team stats. Zone rating 12th. Okay, so that's a defensive efficiency 12th. Okay, so I think it's the defense. I think it's the defense hurting these guys. I think we're gonna keep that in mind as we go through potential upgrades. Let's look at the bullpen. Scott Terry came in with his 21 stamina and really went off. Extreme ground baller, so he's not going to get many Ks, but keeps the ball in the yard, has solid control, 5% walk rate, 0.3 homer 9. We love it. So a 209 ERA and 106 whip in those 99 innings, 18 shutdowns, 10 meltdowns, 6 saves, 6 losses, 6 wins, 666. But yeah, overall, really happy with what Scott Terry did. He was a workhorse. He was arguably the best reliever, and I talked about this, Roger Mesa. I'm going to go to him next real quick just because I was wondering why he was closing in a particular outing, and he does indeed have closer as his secondary role. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know. I think not. Now, I did have Terry in the long relief role because of his stamina and because I've had a theory that the long relief role gets a bit overused, or maybe they let more when they pick the long reliever, it's a more of a key spot than I think it should be. I think that should be like a mop-up duty. So I've been putting better guys there, like Lee Gutterman has been great for us in these 2 seasons. So I gave him long relief in the secondary role too. So if a starter does get bopped early, I wanted them to go to Terry or Gutterman and then leave it maybe to some of the lesser guys in those middle innings anyway, even though that's a little bit risky. We still had Tattleton at the back end there ready to go to be kind of the team's de facto closer, but we don't have a full-on closer, so fantasy folks despise us. You can see here with these save totals. Just a nightmare. We put the Rays to shame. What were the Rays save totals looking like this year? Because obviously we know that they're kind of public enemy number 1 in the fantasy realm when it comes to that, even though it is the smartest way to run your team. So they had Diego Castillo with 14 saves, Kittredge with 8, Fairbanks with 5, and then just a smattering of players. They had 14 total players get a save. Well, obviously we don't have to deal with injuries either. So comparing 1-to-1 to the Rays isn't really fair. We get our guys and they're there for the whole year unless we take them out. But we still had everyone but Jeff Wallace get a save, which is surprising because he was prominent for us last year. He only got 6 saves, but he was prominent with 75 high-quality innings. This year, not so good. I'll get to him in a moment. But yeah, we had save ranges from 13 down to 2, 3 guys with at least 10. Scott Terry had 6. Scott Terry would be fantasy viable in a season like this because he got 6 wins, 6 saves, 99 innings with great ratios. Only 67 Ks, but there's still fantasy value there. Gutterman, it would have to still be a pretty deep league for the fantasy value for him because it is only 4 saves, 7 wins though, 78 and a third, great ratios, 52 Ks. So I think you got to be at least like a 15-team mixer for him. Anyway, enough fantasy dweeb. Well, no, definitely not enough. I'm going to always mention fantasy stuff. Gutterman, another great year. Mason, he was the team save leader. He did have 25 shutdowns as well. So I'm really happy with that. Did have 11 meltdowns, though. Led the team. ERA running a little high at 4.43, but I like the 115 whip. I wish he would strike out a few more guys, but that's not a huge part of his game. He's a 70, 54, 84. He doesn't walk guys. I think that's part of why I was okay with him closing, because he was unlikely to have a Wallacing or anything where he has a self-inflicted meltdown. That's what I always am looking out for. Is I don't want guys that are going to come in and give the game away, just walk. If you give up hits, well, you tip your cap. The other team did something there, but when you just give it away via the walk, that's the scary part. Tattleton has been excellent. Came on from a pack late in entry pool and was great last year with 19 saves, threw another 66 in the third, same ERA, damn near identical whip, excellent strikeout rate at 32%. He had a great season. He really did. So I like where Tattleton's at. David West. Remember, I talked about him last episode too, about how I said, oh, if he has another bad year, we'll go to Bruce Ruffin because he was struggling. He did end up with a 3 whip or 3 ERA, not a 3 whip, but it wasn't a very good whip. 155 is pretty bad. So I don't know. Are we going to use a gold update on Bruce Ruffin is the question, because we could, or we could go elsewhere. I don't know. What did I say we get? We get 1 diamond, 1 gold, 2 silvers. So I don't know exactly where I'm going yet with everything. Derek Lilliquist had a fantastic season, 239, 106. You love to see it. Solid strikeout rate, great walk rate, keeps the ball in the yard. 12 saves for him, 20-6 on the shutdowns to meltdowns. Excellent rate. Jeff Bronke continues to be quietly very good here. The extreme ground ball really helps him. He just makes sure to not walk anybody with a 2% walk rate this year, even better than the 5% last year. That saves it. You know, that takes care of everything else, really, and the extreme ground ball aspect of it, because he's not going to miss many bats. He's a 48, but even a 48 can really do well if you put them in the right positions. So surprisingly, though, despite some of the defensive deficiencies we have, his extreme ground ball behavior wasn't punished. So I like that. He had a 301 BABIP, which is fine. Now, Jeff Wallace. I've told you guys how much I love this card because it's just so fun and unique with the extremes. The extreme stuff, strong movement, then the extremely awful control, extreme ground ball as well. And he was amazing in the first season, and I tried to keep him in a premium role for the second season. And hey, April was great. Well, March, April. I mean, even throw in this extra run here. So what? It was 2 earned in 7 innings. So everything's going all right. Well, May went sideways, and I panicked. I'm not going to lie. I panicked, and I kind of took him out. And I didn't have to. It turns out, obviously, we were still very good at 110 and 52. But I was a little nervous, and so I kind of took him out of a big-time role. I actually put him in a little bit of a specialist role because you see the skills, excuse me, they just weren't, like, he wasn't missing bats. And so I was like, well, if he's not missing bats, this is kind of nerve-wracking. Like, this is K9. You're usually looking at strikeout percentage because that's more, that's more refined, and I like it better. Which he still ended up at 26%. But I panicked. That's all I can say. I don't have a great reason, but I put him into for most of the season, I had him in the specialist role. You see here, middle relief specialist. You're like, well, what do you mean? For a while, his primary was specialist. And that's the opposite of the long relief role. They don't use the specialist role very often. And so, I was protecting him because righties were just eating his lunch. I use that phrase a lot. But yeah, they were just crushing him. So I wanted him to only face lefties. I will say, he's still not leaving the team. We're going to get a reliever, and with one of our upgrades, it's going to be for Bronke, even though he's been, he was okay the first year, and he was quite good this year. I'm gonna thank him for his service, and we're going to move on. Like, I'm not going to keep a 48, and I still want to keep Jeff Wallace. So Bronke's done. But it's time to start looking at upgrades now. Excuse me. We got... with our payouts here, if you are unfamiliar with our payouts, we get 500 extra. This is in addition to what they give us in the game. We get 500 for an all-star appearance, 1,000 for a league leader, but only the league leaders that they identify here in the transaction history. So, where is it? I think yeah. ERA crown, most wins, batting champion, whatever. I don't know all the ones that they do. Pitching triple crown, that's not really league leader, but so just these 3 here. I'm only counting those. I can't go through and do every single one. I think we're doing well enough anyway. We don't need to try to finagle extra points. And you can see I already bought 75K because it was the most efficient way. And obviously I'm gonna spend what we've got here and then kind of keep the rest for the following season, but I just thought it was the most cost efficient to go ahead and get a 75K infusion. So we had 6 all-star appearances, 3 league leaders, 0 gold glovers still, and there's our defense, 4 silver sluggers, the MVP Lofton, Cy Young Steve, 500 record, 90 wins, 100 wins, playoffs, promotion, 3 playoff wins and a World Series win, all told because of the extra All-Star appearance, the extra Silver Sluggers, and that's it. We got 8,000 more than last year for a total of 49,500. So that's what we pulled, basically 50 G's. And again, it just made the most sense to go ahead and get the 75,000 points right now, because I didn't think the price made a whole lot of sense. If I just, what would I end up doing? Getting 2 of these for $40, or just 1 of these for 50, right? So yeah, let's be smart with the spending there. So it's time to make some adjustments. And I already mentioned Jeff Bronke's gone. So is Rudy Law. Sorry, Rude. I didn't even cover him during the rundown, and he actually was pretty good in his very, very, very limited time. 292, 393, 458. I respect it. Thank you. Appreciate that. You made the most of your time. You get another ring, and you're a fun little player to have on the initial team with all the speed, the not striking out, the gap power. He was a great fit, but 2 seasons in, it's time to bid him adieu. So let me get to this sheet here. Let's see. We'll have Jeff Bronke will be leaving. Rudy Law will be leaving. Marty Barrett will probably be leaving. And then is it time for Gutterman? Nah, he's just been so good. It's not time for Jeff Wallace. It might be time for David West. I don't know. I just don't trust him. He was better this year with it on a surface level, though. His walk rate actually went up. He had a great home run rate that really saved him, but that's fluky because he's extreme fly ball with a 70 movement, which is fine, but it's not great. So I don't buy it. What was his FIP? His FIP was 335. That's surprising to me because he only had a 10% strikeout minus walk rate. Yeah, it's because this home run rate, I guess, is so good. But yeah, I don't buy it. It's suspect. So David West, I think, is gone as well. And then we will look. That's 4 guys right there, but it's either Marty Barrett or Greg Olson. He might be gone if we find a new catcher. So, in addition to, I got my points. I also bought a couple guys to have them ready to go, just because if I see somebody in the market that I'm like, I would like them in the future, I don't want to get stuck not being able to get them on a Sunday or Monday when I'm ready to upgrade the team. So you will notice when we go here to look at 80s and 90s catchers, you will see when I get to the 90s that a name is red because we already have him. And I'm sitting here waiting to see if I'm going to pick him or I'll sell him back. And that is Mickey Tattleton. Now there's 4 available, so I didn't need to do that, but I didn't know. When I bought him, there was only 2 on the market, so I bought one of them. Here's the thinking. 1, his catching ability is actually 4 points better than Phil Clark's, who's become essentially our lead catcher. It's not as good as Olson's, but his arm is way better than Olson's. His offense is exponentially better than Olson's. And similar to what I said about Will Clark, this is probably the best. We're getting close to about the last time that we can really effectively use it. I don't know how well he'll do in leagues beyond Iron, which is where we're headed. Iron, Bronze, maybe both of those, but then in Silver, is this going to survive with a 40 avoid K? I don't know. So I'm thinking Tattleton comes in for Olson. That's where I'm leaning. And so let's pencil that in right now, which gives Marty Barrett a reprieve. Well, not necessarily, because we can upgrade him with a bronze. Because I didn't say there's no limit on bronze upgrades. It's just the 1 diamond, 1 gold, 2 silvers. So I'm going to pencil in Mickey Tattleton as an upgrade for Greg Olson. And then let's go see what else we might look at here in the 1980s at third base. Because third base is an upgrade candidate potential as well. Oh my God. There's only one available. I love Paul Molitor, y'all. Oh man. I could totally see this. He's not great defensively, and I would like some better defense on this team. And then I get Paul Molitor and Mickey Tattleton. But I might just do it, y'all. I might just do it. I just think this is a good fit. I like this. Now, the only thing he doesn't really deliver is the power, which is, you know, if the offense has any deficiency, it's that it's not super powerful. And so taking Sprague out for Molitor doesn't really help that. But putting Tattleton in behind the dish is a big power infusion. So I don't know. I'm really considering that. I think that's a really interesting move to maybe get Molitor here. Where else could we go? Because, like, if we're going to improve the defense, the tough part is, as I said, I'm not going to change the outfield. So we're sticking with what we got there defensively. And obviously Lofton's not a problem. Neither is Howard or really even Kelly. Kelly and Howard's arms aren't great, but they're not booting the ball all over the place. And then Blauser's a gold. So is Clark. And Walker's a silver. So it really only leaves third base as an upgrade avenue right now. Like, Todd Walker has just been way too good. I don't care if his defense is nothing. And it's not good. It's not good. But it could be even worse. And with 2 6-win seasons, like, in what universe could I possibly take him out? And I just got Billiam. And first base is not where you're really going to improve the team's defense anyway. So I'm thinking Molitor. And now I know that's the gold and the diamond for offense, but sometimes that's what happens. So I'm going to pencil in Molitor for Rudy Law, and let's move over to the pitching. Now, what that does is it means that our pitching upgrades could only be silvers. Let's see what the pitching realm is offering here. Actually, should I do this? Should I do this and at least see what's out there? Like, here's the thing. I love that we have Steve and Fernandez leading the charge. Do we do a Dwight Gooden and then, like, we just go crazy with our rotation? Or do we try to get like a goose here? Now that would take away the diamond, so we wouldn't be able to get Molitor. I wonder if that's maybe an avenue. Let's see what the 90s has in terms of the pitchers at the top end. All right, well, we can't even get this Wags right now. So that basically eliminates him from consideration just on that principle alone. We got Maddox here, which is awesome. I really like him, but I don't know. I think the move is to bolster the offense. And then we're left kind of looking at some silvers here, which is fine. I love silvers. What kind of silver pitching could we get here? We could move Nagy up and do that. Obviously, we don't have to buy him. I can do it via the mission. And then this Levon is 15 Gs. I mean, it's a little higher than normal, but I don't know. If I do that, though, that's 2 starters. I want to upgrade the bullpen a little bit. So if I did Nagy to his silver and then a reliever, I mean, I could put Levon in the bullpen. I don't know about that, though. I don't know. Do we want to put starters in the bullpen right now? I don't know if we want to get there yet. I think maybe we just keep, starters starting and relievers relieving. And then we'll address that down the line, perhaps. None of these names really jumping out as like, oh, I gotta have them. You know, Paul Ossenmacher, name I definitely remember from when I was younger. I don't like the setup. You know, great strikeout rate, but that movement as a fly ball pitcher, no thanks, buddy. No shot. Let's look at the 1980s, see what they're offering pitching wise. None of it really getting me going. I mean, we gotta find something though. We gotta figure out something to do. So we'll have to see. What shall we do? Let's ponder. Let's consider. All right, the team is set. We got it. Here are the 4 upgrades for this year. First, Paul Molitor joins the team. Let's go, baby. More speed coming out of the team, more contact, gap power, avoid case. That's what we like. That's kind of the model that there's a baseline of the player that I like. I know it's pretty much the meta, so I'm just following meta, but I like that player type as well. And so, an amazing first name. He's joining the team. He's the third baseman. Additionally, we are going to have Mickey Tattleton. I mentioned I'd already bought one. I was kind of debating. I was going to sell it back. If not, nope, we're going to go with it. Welcome to the team, Mickey Tattleton. Then on the pitching side, not as many upgrades here. I mean, just 2, but it's not as high impact. Charles Nagy, we're going to go ahead and take his silver from the bronze to the silver. It's time. And then Jeff Robinson is going to come in for Jeff Bronke as our big reliever update here. Bit more swing and miss capability. Doesn't have the extreme ground ball. Everything else should be pretty good. Does have a bit of a lean platoon-wise, especially with that strikeout rate against righties, but not awful against lefties. I've got him in that secondary closer's role instead of Roger Mason now. So it'll be Charlton, Robinson, and Lilliquist who can come in for saves, and we'll see how it goes. So that's the 2062 team that's all set up, and I'm really excited. I'll tell you this, though. Here's what I'm thinking for the 2062 season. If we have a big year again, right? That's got to be an if. You know, it's not guaranteed, but if we do, I think we go real big with the upgrade. Talking like a high dollar 100 or type deal. You know, I mean the Paul Molitor was not cheap. So let's not pretend like I skimped there. I'm not going to spend 50 mil on Don Sutton. I'm not talking that. But like maybe something as big as like a Jeff Montgomery, like just a key, huge piece that's a little bit high dollar, but I'm open to it. Maybe a Tom Henke. Maybe it's a little bit more frivolous as far as bang for buck because it's a reliever. But we're going to do something. We're going to do something big. I mean, not that Paul Molitor isn't big. I think Paul Molitor, Mickey Tattleton in for Sprague and Greg Olson is big. But I'm just talking like a higher end spend. We've been pretty cost efficient here, but we're building up these this bankroll, so we might as well spend it a little bit. Speaking of, we're gonna get a little frivolous. We're gonna try our luck at some packs because hey, we've won 2 World Series in a row. We deserve it. I'm gonna get crazy here. I'm gonna go 5 silvers and 1 gold. Oh, and I already have 5 of these from the Reigns and Nagy missions. So let's open these packs here. It still leaves us with plenty in the bank. If you spike something here, great. If not, we sell and move on, and we go from there. So let's just see what we get here. Already with a Garrett Cole that we can sell, so that's kind of cool. Although I'd just as soon take 80s and 90s guys. That way we don't have to sell. We get the option of just hanging on to them. But I'm never going to complain about a gold. Antonio Senzatella and all live. So those guys will all be gone. Okay. Not seeing anything 80s or 90s so far. 2007, dang. Nice little pack though, double silver, double throwback silver. Neither in our era, but still. Michael Wirtz, not bad for like a 2000s build. Not what we're doing though. Another silver. Oh wait, these. I'm an idiot. These are silver packs. You stupid moron. I'm like, we're getting a lot of silvers, guys. And here's the gold pack. And we got a Jansen. We got double gold at least. All right, so nothing crazy there. That's it. I'm not going to go too crazy with the packs. Just every once in a while, just a little celebration. You know, we've had 2 amazing seasons. So thank you all so much for watching. We'll see what 2062 brings. And, you know, I'm kind of ready to start to be challenged now. I love that we've been so great. I know that sometimes it's fun with a build to kind of have the climb. We've kind of started at the top. I think we'll eventually hit that wall where we dip down and then have to work up. Who knew that we were going to build such a great team off rip? Maybe the next time I do a team build, maybe we don't even get better than a gold. Maybe we just do 2 golds. We don't even get a diamond. I don't know. But I'm very happy with how this one's going. We're doing several more seasons of the 80s and 90s. Thank you for watching Texas Red Bulls. And I'll have a midweek update at some point. Thank you.